Hello and welcome to the European Challenge Cup 2017-2018 Round 1 Predictions, brought to you by DrivingMaul. Hi, I'm Paul, the guy behind DrivingMaul, and thank you very much for joining me. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up on YouTube and share this with all your mates so they can know what's going to happen as well. So, I've always said that the European Challenge Cup can be a bit of a lottery because we're not sure which teams are going to take it seriously and which teams aren't. A lot of teams will be prioritising their domestic competitions over this because we're talking about teams in the bottom half of their tables on the whole. And so relegation is a real issue for some of these teams in England and France. Clearly not in the Pro 14, but for those in England and France that can be. And then if these teams are doing well and in the top half of the table, then generally they have the thinner squads and so can't fight on two fronts. Will then choose their domestic title, or making the domestic finals, or even top half of their table to be more important. There are the odd few exceptions, those teams that do have a bit of a stronger depth, or are sort of mid to lower table, knowing they're not going to make it domestically. So hey, why not have a go in Europe instead? But on the whole, I'd say a lot of the teams will sort of have put domestic action ahead of this. So, having said all that, let's give it a go as to how we think the game's going to go this weekend. So first up, Pau are hosting Gloucester. Now Pau are in some decent form, sat 7th in the table, 4 wins out of those 7 games so far, and looking pretty safe from relegation. Gloucester, on the other hand, sat 8th in the table, obviously a smaller table, being for 12 rather than 14. With 3 wins and 3 losses, but Gloucester tend to go well in this competition. So yeah, Gloucester safe from relegation, going to struggle to make top 6, so they could really give this one a go. Pau, I mean, French teams generally don't take this one as seriously. Therefore, even though travelling to France can be difficult and French teams do not like to lose in front of their home crowds, I am going to back Gloucester to win this one by 3. So they have got good form in this competition over the previous years. Next up, we have NSI STM hosting Bordeaux Bagels. Now, NSI, they've been in this competition. This will be their 3rd year in this competition from memory, and they have racked up a few home wins. And this is in Krasnoyarsk, or Krasnoyarsk, or however you say it. Anyway, it's going to be cold, basically. We're in the middle of absolutely nowhere. And I say NSI have won at home and done well at home in this competition. I think Bordeaux could easily rest a few players for this one. They're sat 5th currently in the top 14, so in that finals fight already. So I'm going to back NSI by 3. Next up, Cardiff will welcome Lyon. Cardiff have had a bit of a poor season so far. 2 wins out of their 6 games. They do sit 5th in their conference of 7 teams. So from that point of view, they're not getting that bad. But I say, not going to win your record. Lyon, on the other hand, top the French 14, 6 wins out of 7 games. So it's going to come down to how seriously are Lyon taking this? What kind of side are they going to put on their aeroplane? Personally, I think it'll be pretty much an academy side, or at least second string, and probably not, obviously not academy, but a second string side, and then they'll ramp up next week for the home game. So I'm going to back Cardiff by 3. It will go the other way though if Lyon take this seriously. Arjon then host Zebre. Now Zebre are one of those sides that, well, they're going pretty well this season for an Italian team, having got 2 wins, and they sit above Cardiff in that conference. And also they can concentrate on this because they don't have to worry about relegation. And let's be honest, they're unlikely to make the Pro 14 finals, even though they do sit 4th currently in their conference. Arjon on the other side, 2nd from bottom of the French division, French top 14. Relegation is a real issue for them. Even so, at home, I think Arjon will get up for this. They will be extremely embarrassed to lose to Zebre, and I'm backing Arjon by 7. Next, Sale Sharks host Toulouse. Toulouse, one of the teams that's got a fantastic history in Europe, and really should not be, with that history, shouldn't be sat in the Challenge Cup. They're multiple-time winners of the Heineken Cup, remember. Sale Sharks, good at home, struggle away. I don't expect Toulouse to care about this competition at all. They're 2nd in the top 14 at the moment. Sure, a lot of fringe players will get some game time and try and push for sort of real first choice, but I think Sale should take this one by 7. Next up, the second game in Krasnoyarsk, in the same stadium even, in Krasny Yar, host Stade Francais. Who knows what we're going to see from Stade Francais? An up and down team, sat 10th in the top 14 at the moment, 3 wins, 4 losses. Really, we could see anything from them, and we have seen everything from them in this kind of competition before. Krasnoyar, first time in this level, so got no idea as to what they're really like. So I'm going to back them by 1 because it's going to be extremely cold, and the Stade Francais players just will not want to be there. Moving on then, Newcastle Falcons host Newport Gwent Dragons. Falcons currently sat 4th in the Rugby Premiership and has been as high as 2nd. This is having a really good season. Dragons, obviously, under Welsh ownership, new coach and stuff, they've been looking a lot better, but still that means 2 wins and 4 losses. That's not, and there's a lot of building work to go there. Falcons will be rotating their players because they don't have the depth, and they are going so well in the Premiership. Even so, I think Newcastle at home by 7. Next up, London Irish play host to Edinburgh. Now, Edinburgh are probably going to target this competition. I would have thought they've got no hope, really, in the Pro 14, even though they do sit sort of 4th in their conference. And London Irish really struggling in the Rugby Premiership, only 1 win so far. Now, unless Irish use this to gain some momentum, I really see Edinburgh, I've really seen them sort of resting their key players, and Edinburgh winning this one by 3. Then off to Worcester, again, similar tale, they're last in the Premiership, and so similar tale that but they're hosting Brive, who are last in the top 14. So the 2 bottom basement teams facing each other. Got to say, both sides will rest players, but Worcester at home, I think, should win that one by 3. It really will be very much of a B sides out for both, I would have thought. Finishing off the round, Oyna host Connacht. Oyna sat in 12th in the top 14, so again in that relegation battle, but Connacht really have not been very, very good this season. 1 win from 6 games, so they have got 4 bonus points, so they have been in the fight for some of those, but even so, I think at home Oyna will take that one by 5. Always up for good rugby chats. Please let me know your thoughts below. That's how I see the whole thing going. If you want to see it written down, it'll be on DrivingMaul.com. But thank you very much for watching, and look out for my European Rugby Champions Cup predictions as well.